Hi everyone, it's Gabban here, and this is the first of my videos that I'm hoping to do on the Hyperkin Retron 5 compatibility issues. The idea of these videos are to go through games that I've got, that I've tried with the Retron 5 and where they are incompatible for any reason, and accessories as well, just to make you guys aware of it. And I'll also tell you if in later videos if they're then patched and fixed. So if you've not seen my Retron 5 review, I'll put a link to the description below, but I'm just going to go through. This is kind of like the same as what I went through on the actual review video as well, so if you're looking for compatibility notes, there's no need to re-watch those. Now obviously, as I said in the review, Retron 5 is a great console, well worth picking up, especially if you're a retro gamer and you've got a massive collection of games. But as I said, there are some games aren't working and some accessories don't work. First of all, the Zapper, the Menacer, the SuperScope, the Justifyer, basically any light gun, as well as R.O.B, anything that uses the CRT to capture information, they won't work because the system uses HDMI. Therefore, you're most likely playing it on a HD TV with big flat screen. I believe you can get CRT with HDMI. I've not seen any of them, and I'm guessing they're expensive and few and far between. So most of you will find that those accessories will not work. Anything that's light gun or you needed the CRT flashing information doesn't work straight off the bat. That's what I'm saying. Other accessories that I know that don't work at the moment, or will not work anyway because the system is a cheat device, are GameGenies and action replays. These don't work because of the way the system works. It just reads the initial code and it will boot them up, but once you put a code in and then try and go to the game, it will not go to the game. It will just stick on those. Now another set of accessories that it's kind of a moot point that it doesn't work on, but it's kind of just want to point out, is Super Game Boys. Neither of these work. Again, same as the GameGenies and that, they just boot to the cart information, but they don't boot to the game because it doesn't read it, just dumps the actual the Super Game Boy information to its memory and not the follow-on game. As well as that, another thing doesn't work is this is the SuFami Turbo. The way this is, if you don't know, it's a game released by Bandai. It's a game accessory. It was made to make cheaper games, but you just put a cart in there, small games in there. The system doesn't read these game cards. It only reads the SuFami Turbo, and when it actually tells you, it offers you the opportunity to copy the cart because it can't actually see what's there, can't see beyond the SuFami Turbo. Now moving on to actual compatibility issues with actual games. Super Metroid. The problem with this is it actually corrupts the cart save at load, at reading the memory in, the save in. Now this is a bit weird because that's at the read. You would have thought it would have been volatile at all. However, it corrupts it, and also it means it can't write back to the cart either at the moment. Hopefully this will get resolved later, and I'll obviously let you know once it is resolved. But the current state is that if you stick your Super Metroid game into your Retron 5, it will erase the data. Even without trying to write back to it, just reading it, it will corrupt it. Other games that it's got a corruption issue are the Pokémon Blue and Red on the original Game Boy. It reads the save fine. You can play the game and you can save the system, but writing the save back to the cart causes corruption on the cart. This is also the same with Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls, which is Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on one cartridge for the Game Boy Advance. Again, it reads the save into the system. You can play the game on the system and save it, but you can't restore back to the cart. That wipes the save. The Game Boy Camera for the original Game Boy isn't recognised at all. It doesn't load, it doesn't even notice the cart's there at all. Now finally, a couple of incompatibilities is a bit weird. The Pokemon Game Boy Advance games. Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire work fine. You're able to read the save in, play the game, save the game to the Retron 5, and also then restore the game back to the game cart without any problems. However, Fire Red, Leaf Green and Ruby, when you import the save, it actually doesn't import, even though it says it has, and you end up with the game basically being a blank, no save, and starting you from fresh. That's great because it doesn't corrupt the save and it's not lost, but it would be nice. And obviously with these, they're flash memory, so they're able to store the information, and there's no battery requirement apart from the clock on them, on Ruby, Emerald and Sapphire. But it would be nice to be able to back these up anyway and have them saved. So again, I'm hoping all these issues Hyperkin will resolve, apart from obviously the light guns, and they have no reason to fix the Super Game Boy or cheat device things. But it would be nice to, you know, things like the GameBoy Camera and that working. So that's the first of these videos. As I said, as I go through my my collection, accessories, things like that, I'll let you guys know what does and doesn't work. I'll probably try and do a video once every couple of weeks, and I'll also let you know when there's been a new firmware release that's resolved it. So just to remind you guys, this is currently based on the latest firmware out at the moment. That's the hardware version. Hardware OS version is 0.22 and the software version is 1.5. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.